Alright, this will be for the con assignment. Use the properties of logarithms. So there are three main properties you need to know. And before I start, I just want to mention that the base in the logs are all the same on both sides of the equation. Okay, so notice the base here is b, it's b here, and it's b here as well. So it has to match on both sides of the equation. Okay, so the first one is the product rule. If you take the log of something times something, you can separate those two items and add the log of the individual items. So the log of m times n is the same as the log of m plus the log of n. Alright, the quotient rule. If you're taking the log of something divided by something, you can separate those two items and subtract them. So the log of m divided by n is the log of m minus the log of n. Okay, and the power rule, if you're taking the log of something raised to an exponent p, you can take that exponent p and move it out front. Okay, so that's what they did here. The log of m to the power of p equals p times the log of m. So you just take that exponent and you can move it out front. Alright, so here we have, use the properties of logarithms. Here we have the log of 2 plus the log of 3. Now we said before, when you add the two items individually, it's the same as multiplying and just taking the logarithm once. Okay, so the log of 2 plus the log of 3, that's the same thing as the log of 2 times 3. Okay, because you're adding them together. And of course 2 times 3 is just 6. So it's the same thing as the log of 6. You can put parentheses if you want, but you don't need to because it's just one number. So I'm going to click log and then just type 6. Okay, you don't need the log with the base because it's all base 10. Okay, so here we're subtracting the two numbers. And we just said for the quotient rule, when you subtract the two logs, it's the log of this divided by this. Okay, it's the same thing. So since we're subtracting, we're just going to do m divided by n and take the log of that. So here, since we're subtracting, this is the same as the log of 8 divided by 2. Okay, and of course 8 divided by 2 is just 4. So it's the same as the log of 4. So just click log and type 4. Alright, here we have 5 log of 2. Notice the 5 is out front. Okay, so here we have the p out front, but here the p is in the exponent. So we can just take this p and move it as the exponent for the letter m. So same thing on this problem here. We can just take this 5 and move it as the exponent on the 2. Alright, so this is going to be the log of 2 to the 5th. Alright, and 2 to the 5th, you have 2 multiplied 5 times. That's just 32. Okay, so in place of 2 to the 5th, I'm I'm going to write 32. That's it. Again, you can put parentheses if you want, but you don't need it. So I click log, type 32. Alright, log of 2 plus log of 2. Remember, when you're adding two separate logs, you take one and you multiply it by the other one, and you just take the log of the product. So this here is the same as log of 2 times 2. Which is just a log of 4. So click on log and type 4. Alright, here we have log of 10 minus log of 5. That's the quotient rule. Okay, when you're subtracting the two logs, you just take the first one divided by the second one, and you can make it one log. So this is the log of 10 divided by 5, since it's subtracting. Which is just the log of 2. Alright, here we have the 4 out front. Okay, so for the power rule, you can take the number out front, in this case it's p, and move it to the exponent on the letter m. See right here, m to the power of p. Alright, so we're just working backwards on these. So you take the 4 and you move it as the exponent on the 3. So that's going to be the log of 3 to the 4th. Okay, so that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's 81. So this is log of 81. I forgot to type log. Click log first, log of 81. Alright, when you're adding them, you multiply. So this is the same as log of 4 times 3. Log of 12. Alright, when there's no base on the log, it's automatically base 10. That's why I'm not writing the base, because they didn't write it, so it's automatically base 10. Alright, last one. When you're subtracting, you divide the two numbers you're taking the log of. So this is the same as log of 4 divided by 2. So it's just a log of 2. Log of 2. Alright, so just remember the log of something plus something, you just take the log once, you multiply those two numbers. When it's something minus something, you just divide the first one divided by the second one. Take the log of that. And for the power rule, the number that's out front, you can move it and make it as the exponent on the item you're taking the log of.